everybody to the January 2019 City of Brunswick Planning Board meeting. Have to get roll call.
Okay. Felix Checo?
Here.
Dale Vickers? Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Here.
Chris Delatello?
Here.
Ryan Berger? Here. Bob Cardica?
Here.
John Petrolino? George Shadid? Here. Manuel Castaneda?
Here.
Jeff Crum?
Get the public announcement.
Yes, I do. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been complied with and satisfied, and that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time, place, and conduct of all public meetings of the Planning Board of the City of New Brunswick, has been filed with the City Clerk and placed on an appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, 78 Bayard Street, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper of the City of New Brunswick, namely the Home News Tribune.
Good, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item on, we have the reorganization of the board.
Nominate Jeff Crum for our chair.
Get a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Felix Checo? Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Chris Delatello?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid? Yes. Manuel Castaneda?
Yes.
Okay.
Nomination for vice chair.
Nominate Manuel Castaneda.
Second. Who seconded? Felix Checo?
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Chris Delatello?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid? Yes. Manuel Castaneda?
Yes. Nomination for secretary.
All right, I'm going to nominate Daniel Dominguez.
Second. Okay, what do you got? Okay. Felix Checo?
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Chris Delatello?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid? Yes. Manuel Castaneda?
Yes. Appointment of board attorney.
Try to follow, okay. So,
Do we do a nomination for this? This is just an
I mean,
appointment.
if you have
isn't it?
to,
Right.
Just an
So
appointment.
by nomination.
Oh.
yeah, there has to be a formal nomination.
I nominate Aaron.
A second.
Felix Checo? Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Chris Delatello?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid? Yes. Manuel Castaneda?
Yes. Appointment of conflict board attorney.
Okay, so this year, or technically in December, we went out for RFP for conflict attorney. We had one sole respondent, which was Carl Kemp from McManaman, Scotland. He was our conflict attorney this past year. We didn't need him, or rather, he wasn't available the one time that we did need him, but that's neither here nor there. He's the sole applicant, and if anybody wants to move to continue using McManaman, Scotland, we can continue with their use as a conflict attorney in 2020 for the planning board.
So moved.
Second. Felix Checo?
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Chris Delatello?
Yes.
Ryan Berger? Yes. Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid?
Yes.
Manuel Castaneda?
Yes. Appointment of board planner.
Okay, so for board planner, we received 3 applications in our 3 proposals for our RFP. We received a proposal from Big Nail Planning, who's been board planner for a very long time. We received a proposal for, should I stop to get Jeff in the record? Arlen?
I'm
Should I
sorry.
stop to get Jeff in the...
Sure, if we could just have the meeting record indicate that Chairman Crum has joined us, so he can participate from this point. So why don't we start with the appointment of the planner?
board
believe you heard most of that, correct?
Say the engineer.
I will defer.
Okay.
It was a good run.
That's doing all right. I'm going to pay the at least this part of the Thank you. No, you know what? I don't want to take your thunder.
As I was saying, we received 3 responses for the RFP this year. Big Now Planning, who's been our planner for a very long time. We received a bid for topology, and we received 1 bid from CME. The city recommends the approval and continuation with Big Now Planning. They also came in with the lowest hourly rate, which, while not the entire factor, is a factor in charging against the escrows of the applicants who come here and make sure that they're being billed at a reasonable rate. So that's our position, and but the board has an opportunity here to vote as they please.
Thank you.
Motion to appoint Big Now?
Second.
Melissa Chacon,
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig,
Yes.
Christelle Tella,
Yes.
Ryan Berger,
Yes.
Bob Cardica,
Yes.
George Shadid, and Noah Castaneda.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So for engineer, we also received 3 applications. We received from from Delaware Raritan Engineering, who's been our board planner board engineer or conflict engineer for several years now. We received also from CME again, and we received from Mott McDonald engineering firm. The city recommends continuing with Delaware Raritan, with the city's in-house engineering staff acting as conflict engineer in the event that there's a need, as the board has done for the last 2 years. We started in 2018, that became the norm.
Make a motion for DNR.
Second?
Yulitza Checco? Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Christelle Tella?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid? And Noah Castaneda.
Yes.
So for hydraulic modeling engineer, this is custom software that is done by Mott McDonald for the city of New Brunswick, and thus is not subject to fair and open. But you would still need to nominate and approve the continued use of this system.
I nominate the continued use of the system.
So, here's a question, did Mott McDonald originally respond to an RFP?
There was no need for an RFP, or, I mean, if they did, maybe several years ago, way before I've been involved in any of this, it's possible, but it's been years that they've been providing this modeling service, sort of bespoke for the city of New Brunswick. And that's why they don't need to continually do proposals.
Second?
I missed who did the first. I didn't. Yulitza Checco?
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Christelle Tella?
Yes.
Ryan Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid?
Yes.
Manuel Castaneda.
Yes.
Okay. Same with the traffic systems analysis. Mott McDonald provides bespoke traffic systems analysis for the city of New Brunswick. Same deal, been with them for a long time. They provided no fair and open. If you approve it, we continue.
Motion to continue.
Second?
Yulitza Checco?
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Priscilla Tella?
Yes.
Brian Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid?
Yes.
Manuel Castaneda.
Yes.
Okay, so this is to formally re-adopt the meeting schedule that was adopted in December for 2020. Your package should all have the schedule in there. We'll have to discuss and vote on approving it or not.
So moved.
Second.
Yulitza Checco?
Yes.
Suzanne Sikora Ludwig?
Yes.
Christelle Tella?
Yes.
Brian Berger?
Yes.
Bob Cardica?
Yes.
George Shadid?
Yes.
Manuel Castaneda?
Yes.
Mr. Crum?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's both of us, right? It was.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is for the designation of minor site plan of the member of the board to the minor site plan committee. Typically, this member has been Chris Delatella, but it is appointed by the board chair. And then presumably Arvin gets reaffirmed by vote?
No,
No, just appointment?
chairman's appointment.
Okay.
Want to keep going? Sure. All right. I'm going to appoint Chris.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and for the minor subdivision, there's 3 members on this board that are of the minor subdivision committee, but one of them is to be also reappointed by the chair. Again, it's Chris Delatella at the discretion of the board chair.
I'd like to reappoint Chris as well.
Does he want to continue?
He has no choice now.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so. All right, so now we can move on to the adoption of the minutes of the December 16th meeting. Voters could be Yalitza Checo, Brian Berger, Bob Cardica, George Shadid, and Manuel Castaneda.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second?
Yalitza Checo, Brian Berger,
Yes.
Bob Cardica,
Yes.
George Shadid,
Yes.
Manuel Castaneda.
Yes.
All right, and Marvin, for the annual report of variances granted, do we need to do a vote, or is it just a general discussion, if anyone has any comments on it?
It's a vote.
If there's a vote on adopting it? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So also in your packets, you should have received a report produced by the Department of Planning staff on the annual report of the planning board's granting of variances and projects. And I guess everyone here can vote on it since
Right,
it's
roll
members
call.
of the board, right?
Not roll call, I'm sorry. It could be by voice votes.
Right, we can do voice vote?
Voice vote.
Voice vote.
Does the
You need a motion.
board do this every year, the
It's-
summary?
Yeah.
Trying to-
Well, last year it slipped, so we're doing it now. Now we're going to do it going forward on the reorg
Oh, okay,
every
so I don't remember
year.
this year, that's why I asked.
I don't know,
Yeah.
if the planning board doesn't have to do it by law, is that right, Erica?
No, it doesn't. Just the
No,
zoning board
We
does.
just did it sort of as an FYI.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to know.
Never done this.
Yeah. Okay, so do they have the motion, Arvin, or is it just
All those in favor?
all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We have no resolutions of memorialization or public hearings, other matters of interest to the public. And I guess that does open the floor to public comment if you guys don't have anything.
Good evening, members of the board. You need to swear.
Do you swear for, well, no, first name, last name?
Charles Crandall, K-R-A-T-O-V-I.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Good evening,
Mr.
members.
Cradical, I'm sorry. Just so we can start the year, you don't have to repeat this every single time. Just put your address on the record for the
Oh,
business record.
sure. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today, community newspaper here, available online at newbrunswicktoday.com. P.O. Box 3180 here in New Brunswick, if anybody wants to send us anything in the U.S. mail. And I am also a resident of the city and, as you know, a frequent attendee of your meetings. So I want to begin by following up on the issue I've brought up now for several months with the Americans with Disabilities Act violation there at the Robert Wood campus. Is there an update?
There is actually an update as of today. I was speaking to one of my contacts. He had gone on vacation last week. I was hoping to get a specific person, in particular the facilities manager, the name of the facilities manager for that building. I received that information today. He was out last week, and so there should be a letter going out tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest, and you will be copied on it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And
Or you will receive a copy of it. You will not be formally copied on the email, nonetheless.
so long as I can see a copy as soon
not
as
a
it's
problem.
available, I'd appreciate it. Is there any progress on finding out how the current situation came to be? I mentioned at a recent council meeting that I may have said before that this is a broken elevator. I may have been wrong. It may actually be purposely activated by Rutgers, I heard, because of people moving in or using drugs or whatever in the elevator. Is there any progress on figuring out if this was a purposeful deactivation or?
Well, that's why I was trying to get the name of the facilities manager of the building, because I wanted to go right to the source of who's managing the mechanicals and the general building on site and make sure we get an answer from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'll just put it.
Because you've been there, I've been there, you can't tell necessarily what has caused the damage,
Right.
except that you know that it doesn't work. And so it's plausible, what you're saying is totally plausible, so we're hopefully going to find out and get it corrected.
Okay. So on July 24th, 2002, this board had a hearing in this room. The site in question was the topic. We passed a resolution of memorialization. Item G says, quote, "In the center of the site will be a passageway that will allow pedestrians to walk from French Street to Somerset Street. The passageway will be handicapped accessible and will be accessible 24 hours per day, 7 days per week." This is new information that I haven't brought to you before. Thank you to Mr. Dominguez for getting me this old resolution.
You can actually thank Katie, because she brought it to my attention.
Thank you very much. And so the item I says, quote, "The first floor will have retail." I guess this is the failed attempt at a bank branch. Magyar Bank, I think, had something there for a few years. And I think this is really important information here in item S. Quote, "The applicant's traffic engineer also recommended to install a traffic signal at the intersection of New Street and French Street." And this is that area of New Street that's kind of like Bayard Street, but it's kind of New Street also. And then, quote, "Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital agreed to pay for the installation of this traffic signal." Of course, you go to that intersection today, it's not signalized. We've had to complain just to get crosswalks painted there.
I have a question on that,
Years,
though.
yeah.
It still is not a municipal road, though.
It's
okay.
a county
It's-
right of way.
So even though they want to pay for it, if it's not approved,
Right.
it's not
You
approved.
you would have to
certainly
see what the
recommend.
county
You
site
can
plan
recommend it, but it's,
Yeah.
said, because the county may have rejected it. I wouldn't know offhand.
Okay, that's a good point. I'll be at their meeting tomorrow, so I appreciate that suggestion. And then you get to the conditions of the approval here, and so I just want to point out, item 7, quote, "There shall be permanent access for pedestrians to travel between French Street and Somerset Street after completion of construction." And that is, of course, not the case when Robert Wood is locking the doors and not letting folks cut through. And that's certainly not the case if you have a walker or a wheelchair and you can't get up the stairs. So,
And we understand,
Right.
we're looking into the issue. I think clearly at one time it was operable, which is why they got their CO. And it's an enforcement issue now. And I appreciate everything that the staff has done to continue to look into it.
right. And then just to finish up on this resolution here, item 22 was, quote, "The applicant will pay for the recommended traffic improvements set forth in this approval resolution." And in this case, the applicant is actually, I believe, an LLC run by Devco. But what I want to understand is now the property's been transferred to Rutgers University. And at least in the past, the planning director has stated that that means essentially they're exempt or above the conditions of this resolution of the board. Is that the case, or is that different?
My statement was that that I'm preempted from enforcing zoning on the state, which
government.
Rutgers is. We are attempting to resolve this amicably, and I believe that we will come to an understanding and an agreement and resolution of this problem.
Great, I hope the
But I'm not
resolution is-
I can't write them a zoning ticket and send them to court.
So I hope that a resolution's reached quickly, and I hope that it's done in the spirit of all those things that were just itemized in your resolution. Anything less than 24/7 is not truly public right of way. Doesn't make up for taking away a public street or two public streets. So I think that it's important that the resolution that's reached is comprehensive and it is obviously ADA compliant, but also that it addresses those issues, including perhaps the traffic issue there. That Robert Wood apparently was ready to pony up significant funds. I think we should hold them to that. And so,
I think the city has gone as far as it can. Clearly, the ADA issue is within our jurisdiction. Rutgers, I guess, I was not at the December meeting, so this does complicate our ability to enforce zoning. But on the traffic light, I don't think the only thing we could do was make a recommendation. It's 2002, I'm not sure what the county had decided at that time.
Right, there is ultimately maintenance in some of these devices for the county, perpetual upkeep that they may have declined. I don't know, again, I've never seen the resolution from back then, the 2002 resolution from this application, when Ms. Puniello brought it to my attention and then I forwarded it to you, was the first time I saw that either.
Right.
So,
okay, well, just want to make sure that it doesn't get lost, especially, just because I'm a little troubled by this Rutgers being above the law situation, so I want to make sure that it's all.
I don't think they're above the law, but just like any application, what is it, a section
31.
31 review?
They just have to inform us, and they don't need our approval.
It's not city property.
We don't have jurisdiction.
State
But
property.
yeah, it sounds like in 2002, it was actually a private developer, so it might have been private property at that time. And if the chair would like me to, I would certainly suggest that you instruct me to do a record search to see if there's a deed ever recorded to legalize that right of way.
That would be great.
So I'll look into that.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you, sir. So there is, however, another piece of property adjacent where it's still private property, and therefore under your jurisdiction according to your assessment. So a public hearing was conducted on October 27th, 2004 in this room. Children's Specialized Hospital was the applicant, and this one I've already brought you up to speed on, but just for your recollection, item 20 says the applicant testified there will be an interior walkway between the Child Health Institute and the proposed Children's Specialized Hospital that will connect French Street with Somerset Street. The applicant will put up signs identifying the walkway and making clear that the interior walkway is a public walkway. So those are all things that are not in place, and I believe that's really the crux of the matter there, and that is, again, private property, and those folks are openly in violation of the conditions of approval, if my assessment's correct. I don't think anyone's in disagreement with me on that. So I do think that both folks need letters. And
I think that the facilities manager may have access to both parts, as I think he may have, it's sort of an integrated system over there, despite who owns what. So I hope that this is a one-stop shop, and we'll see how this shakes out. But I believe that this is going to solve our situation. The letter to the facilities manager.
okay, well, I'll look forward to that letter, and I guess we'll pursue other avenues too, because this is, federal, law on the books. And just lastly, want to ask a question and make a point about the TAC. But first, the question that this board is here to represent whom exactly? Is it, property owners, U.S. citizen, residents of New Brunswick, or all residents of New Brunswick?
This.
Yeah, this planning board.
So we're charged with overseeing the development that conforms with the city's master plan. And so we are representing the community's interests in what gets built within the city of New Brunswick.
Okay. Maybe,
An
maybe
assessment of my.
could the attorney.
I think that's correct. It's a statutory board. We don't represent any party. We don't represent the applicants. We look out for the public interest, and we make sure that any development that's proposed, to the extent that it conforms with the master plan and the ordinances of the city, and any relief from those master plans are granted by this board or the zoning board under the statutory scheme.
It sounds like all residents of the city.
In a cosmic sense, it's everybody, yes.
Okay. And just finally, would close with an appeal to whoever's got the power to make the decision to open the technical advisory meetings, the technical review committee meetings that are so crucial in the process of approving developments. I got to attend one of them last year, and the sky didn't fall, everybody was okay, we all survived, and I thought it was a nice, breath of transparency and fresh air in terms of, the way the planning department's run. And unfortunately, that policy change that allowed me to be in there was sort of undone. And I just hope that whoever's in charge can say, hey, it's 2020, we've got nothing to hide, let's open up the technical meetings, so that if members of the public do want to attend, like in other towns where they are public notice meetings and public can attend, why not have that in New Brunswick? If there's nothing to hide, let's do that. And so I just appeal to this board, planning director, board council, who I think ultimately made that decision to reconsider. And I would like to be there. And I think others would too. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Very good. Any other items to discuss tonight?